recording.
Hi, Sarah. My name's Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Nice to
Nice
meet you.
to meet you. So I'm the registered dietitian here. I'm really glad that you decided to come in and see me. So what brings you in today?
I came here because I recently have lost 20 pounds. I've been working really hard, but now that the holidays are starting to approach, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm starting to get worried about my diet and my exercise routine. I think that I'm not going to be as successful now, and I feel that I can't keep up with it, and I'm going to fail at it.
Wow, that's such a great accomplishment. You should be really proud of yourself for losing all that weight. But I understand how the holidays can be such a challenging time. So why do you think now, this time, you're feeling that you're not going to be as successful with your diet? What troubles do you think you'll come across?
Well, I think I'm having trouble because I have a huge family, and we spend a lot of time cooking during the holidays and preparing things, and I just feel like I won't be able to say no, especially like if the little kids are coming up to me and offering me something. It is always like full tables of food and sweets and cookies and cakes and desserts, and I just feel like I'll be unable to control myself, really.
Okay, so I feel like what you're saying is then with all your family members, you just feel like it'll be really hard for you to say no to all of them?
Yeah, like I'm feeling embarrassed that I don't feel comfortable like saying no, and I don't want to be talking about my diet and how I've been losing the 20 pounds, but I just feel worthless and like a failure if I'm going to start eating all this junk food and indulge in foods that I really shouldn't be indulging in.
Okay, so basically I want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. So here, you're saying is at the parties and family functions, you feel that if you overeat or indulge, you feel like you're failing yourself and you'll be ruining all the success that you've already had?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so I want to try an exercise with you because I think this might help some of your negative thoughts that you're having. What this is called is a thought record, and I was going to have you go through and we'll fill it out together. Is that okay?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so here is what we call a thought record. I have basically what it is, we have these different columns, and what we're going to want to do is that you're going to want to tell me where you were, your initial feeling, then the negative thought you had, and then the evidence that supported that thought, the evidence that does not, your alternative thought, and also your new emotion or feeling. The main goal of this exercise is because I want you to take some of these negative fears and emotions that you're having and try to help replace them with positive thoughts. So let's start. I think a good way to start, you said at family parties, you said you feel, so if in that column right there, you can write that at family parties. Okay, perfect. So now what would be one of the emotions or feelings that you'd say that is one of the strongest that you have?
Intimidated or embarrassed.
Okay, so then you can write that right there, please. Okay, and then what would be some of the negative, the automatic thoughts that first come in your mind when you're there?
That I'm definitely going to overeat or that I'm going to gain my weight back, so I'm going to fail at my diet.
Okay, so then that'll go right there. And then what would you say is some evidence that suggests that? What would you say that is there any tendencies you have? Do you stay away from family members? Do you avoid certain situations?
Yeah, that I should probably avoid maybe the little kids more on a daily basis with certain family members and staying away from the kitchen where the food is gathered.
Okay, so if you want to put that right there. Okay, and then can you think of any evidence that wouldn't support it? Are you able to have fun with family members and still enjoy yourself and not feel intimidated and scared?
Well, able to socialize in the kitchen.
Okay, yeah, then that would be a good thing to put right there. So instead of feeling like you're going to overeat and feel intimidated, is there a new thought that we can try to think of? Instead of when you're in the party automatically feeling intimidated, is there a new thought or emotion that we can try to replace that with?
Well, I should be like enjoying myself. It is the holidays, and I should be happy to be around my family and that I wouldn't be ruining my diet.
Okay, so let's write that there for you so you can have all this to refer to later. And then what would be the new emotion or feeling that you would, if you felt like you could enjoy yourself with your family and not be intimidated and worried, how would you feel then?
I would definitely be feeling happy and proud of
Okay,
myself.
then let's put that right there. Okay, that was a great job. So let's go through this first, and then we'll try to go back again. So the key with this is when you're in these situations, when you're in the party, instead of feeling intimidated and feeling down and feeling like you can't, I really want you to try to take that thought and switch it with, I had all this success. It's a great accomplishment, and I shouldn't be afraid. You've had this success. Just think one day is not going to ruin all the success you've had. So if we can take the fear of intimidation and replace it with more happy and sociable, I think you'll feel a lot better in these types of situations. Do you think you can try this?
Yeah.
On your own, just trying to switch.
I would definitely agree with
so when the feeling of intimidated comes, eventually it'll become second nature for you when you're at these parties, when you're with families, to feel more happy, to feel more, just be able to deal with your family.
I think this would work
Okay,
very well.
We'll go
Thank
through
you.
this, and then we'll try to, we can come back to this and do any other
Okay.
situations that you feel you have trouble with. So if you were, the key I want you to remember is that if you're at a party and you overeat, it's okay. Do not get down on yourself. Do not feel like you're going to do the fail. So on a scale now of 1 to 10, just so we can gauge how comfortable do you think you are with trying to replace thoughts or filling out your own thought record.
I would say that I'm an 8. Like, I do have some willpower to do this, and I think it would be a good idea, and I would definitely start replacing my negative thoughts with my positive thoughts.
Okay, and do you see anything that may hold you back or any obstacles that you'll come across through all of this?
Again, I would just think it's some of the family members. They would just have to be supportive and push me to eat certain foods and not others, and I just think I cannot stand up to them.
Okay, and then have you actually ever thought about talking to your family members and letting them know how you feel?
Well, I mean, I guess I could really sit down and discuss it with them. They may understand and support me. I just don't think I can convince them.
Okay, and are there any specific members of your family that you feel kind of pressure you the most, or you feel most intimidated or uncomfortable with talking to them about?
I would definitely have to say my sister.
Your sister.
That's who I'm really
Okay, so I feel like a good way to start here would be to try a scenario. I can pretend that I'm your sister, and we could, kind of role play, so how you'd be able to talk to them. So you say they like to kind of pressure you into eating, and you just feel uncomfortable with talking to them?
Yes.
Okay, so let's pretend I'm your sister, and I'm trying to say, Sarah, why aren't you eating? What's wrong? Like, have these cookies. What would be a good response to them?
Well, I guess I could tell them I have been working really hard on my diet, and if you guys would please support me through this process that I'm going through, I really do not want to ruin my diet and be gaining the weight back.
Okay, I think that would be a really good way to start. I feel like if you're open with them and more supportive, they'll understand some of your negative concerns. I also remember you at the beginning saying that you had concerns with also baking cookies, and what were some of the fears that you would have? You said you would feel fearful in baking, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. I just think that it would just be gaining my weight back, and I wouldn't be able to control myself while baking them to not have some of them.
Okay, so then the thought would be fear then to begin with, and what do you think you can replace that thought of fear with?
Just feeling content and not as scared.
Okay, so yeah, I think the great way would be, I think one of the best things if you'd be able to take this thought record with you that you have filled out, and if you want to use that from now on, so when you're feeling any of these different emotions or fears, if you want to jot them down and just let me know how you're feeling in these situations, and if you were able to get any new ideas or thoughts throughout of all this. And I was just thinking, do you think you'd be able to implement this plan now on your own?
Yes, I think I would be able to start working on it and get back to you on how it's going for me.
Okay. So do you feel better now about the approaching holidays?
Yes, I feel a lot better about approaching the holidays.
Okay, one of the keys I really want you to take away from this is that you've had tremendous success, and you should be really proud of yourself. I don't want you to think that just through these, next month or so of the holidays that everything's going to be ruined just from a couple of days. You should be able to enjoy yourself. Just think one cookie is not going to gain, you're not going to gain your 20 pounds back. You should stay positive and think of all the success you had. So when is the first time you think you're going to be around all your family, or these holiday parties are going to be start approaching?
Actually, this weekend, we have an annual family party. I'm going to sit down and talk to some of the members of the family before and let them know about my concerns and my doubts, and hopefully they'll start supporting me and understanding what I'm going through.
Okay, so do you think you'll be able to try to talk to your sisters or before the event?
Yes, I definitely
Okay,
want to talk
I think
to
that
them.
would be a great idea. It'll eliminate some of the tension and fear that you're having. And yeah, I think it would be a great way to just sit down and talk to them and let them know how you're feeling. And before you go to the party, I think it may be helpful too if you tell yourself, I'll be able to have this amount of food. It's not going to ruin everything. Just so you're not worried about what you're going to eat. Maybe find out what they're serving beforehand, so you can just plan out what you're going to have. So I think it'll eliminate a lot of the stress or tension that may be with a buffet or certain situations like that. Do you think you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so what are the main goals and things you think you can implement from today's session?
I would probably implement a thought record, thinking more positively and remembering that a dessert or two would not be hurting me. Eating certain foods does not mean that I am failing at my diet. I want to discuss with important members of my family my concerns and my thoughts during the holidays.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea. So if we can just try to take some of those goals from today and implement them, I think the thought record would be a great technique for you to use. Even if you're not writing it down, if you can just try to think when these negative thoughts come in your head, just to kind of switch them, turn them around, I think it'll be a great idea. And I really, I look forward to seeing you again. Do you think sometime next week after the party would work for you?
Yes, I would definitely like to discuss after the party and the emotions I was going through.
Okay, yeah, so if you could just, during the next week, if any of these negative thoughts come down, if you could just, when you think of them, jot them down or jot them down later, and we can kind of go through a new thought record, see how you're able to implement this plan. And I really, I look forward to seeing you again, and it was great meeting you, and I hope that everything works out great at this party. And just, if you have any troubles or concerns, you can always email me or give me a call. I'm always here for you.
Thank you. You were very supportive, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sarah. It was great meeting you.